Hi everyone and welcome to this video. Guys, it is time that we talk about Tales of Arise. And wow, guys, honestly, let's start with the obvious. That piece of music is absolutely marvelous. I love the music and sound design of this game, and I know I turned it down quite a bit for this video, but I wanted to have a little intro just so you guys can hear one of the pieces that just felt like so fitting to this whole game. And to give you guys a little bit of an overview, I have played now for 56 hours. Almost 16 of those were in combat. We had a max combo of 186, so pretty nice. Almost 400k combo damage. Yeah, so I have done quite a bit. So I'm missing 2 achievements right now, but other than that, everything's done. Elites, everything. We found every owl. And most importantly, we have actually completed every single side quest in the game. So I think that is... Oh, and we did hit max level 100. So I feel qualified to talk about this game. Yeah, I wanted to have like this investment into the game before I make a video about it. So, as I said, the music and the sound design in general, I'm in love with, honestly. Same goes for the looks. Now, this location is a bit reminiscent of a certain other location in a certain other game. I'm a sucker for like snowy places. I love them, and it's definitely worth checking out the graphics in this game. And that's the second point, right? In my eyes, this is the most beautiful Tales game we've ever had. Sure, I love Tales of Vesperia above every other Tales game. Spoiler alert, that's still the same, but that doesn't take away value of Tales of Arise. And honestly, the locations in this game are stunning. The looks are absolutely beautiful, astonishing, and I cannot tell you how many times I stood in places like this, stopped for like 2 or 3 minutes, and was just panning the camera around, enjoying the views, and just in general admiring how well this thing looks. And even the enemy design, the swords, the armor pieces, everything, it's gorgeous, and I think it will look gorgeous for a long time. That is one of the big benefits of a lot of Tales games, in my opinion. They just look very good and timeless, right? So what are the main things in a Tales game that you should be worried about or you should think about? Well, there's 2 main things that you will be doing in those games, and that is A, you will you will dig deep into a story that is presented to you via cutscenes, via skits, the stuff that you know from Tales games and that you love from Tales games. And if this is your first Tales game you will be playing, you are in for a treat. I mean, for every JRPG fan or RPG fan in general, this game has so much to offer, and I'm so glad that it came out like it did, honestly. So we will start with the story. The story was presented in a way that I did expect and actually rather enjoy, which is you have in-game cutscenes, you have the skits where people are talking to one another at like a campfire, for example. Let's see, do we have one nearby? Yes, we do. We actually do. So let's move up, let's get moving. It doesn't serve any purpose if I battle these guys here, because they are like level 15 or something, and that would just be an absolute massacre, but yeah. That's beside the point, right? See, it's just vistas like that, honestly. But yeah, the characters talking to one another on the field is where they really grow on you, and you start to like them, and you start to feel for them, and
Realm of frost, snows,
you want to
and
see
cold
how the story
souls.
goes. And
Something terrible happened to you here?
Isn't he just saying he's cold?
just small interactions like that throughout the game. It's honestly such a simple thing that makes a huge difference, right? So not only do you get invested into the story, you also get really invested into the characters, and that's always one of the biggest plus things that Tales of does, right? Almost every entry, I can tell you exactly which characters I absolutely love the most and why. Except for this one, they grew on me. I really started to like those guys, and it's hard to pinpoint down the exact reason for every single character. They all have their battles that they have to fight within themselves, within the group, and I think they did a really, really good job relaying that fight within them as well, right? So that is honestly very important and is one of the pillars of this game, besides just the story itself with this ominous looking thing over here. Yeah. So the second, and also for me personally very important pillar of a Tales game is the gameplay, the battles. Stuff has to go down, and when stuff goes down, it needs to actually be fun and worth your time, right? So I will show you the post-game dungeon. If you do not want to have any spoilers, then I'm very sorry, but you have to just take my word for it that it is fun. The battle system is fun, and we will talk more about it in an upcoming section. But for now, if you don't want to see this, skip ahead. I will provide you timestamps in the description. So be warned, we are entering one of the post-game dungeons regions. Right, so while you are here, you will see exactly why in a couple of seconds. These enemies are level 76. And the battle system itself is very... it feels like Tales of Graces a bit, and also not, right? So it is... They did change up stuff. The perfect dodges are awesome. I really enjoy them. The characters, their specialities, their role in the group, everything just comes together very, very well in battles. You have mystic arts, which are always fun and very powerful. And different characters will provide you with different value in battle, right? There are the obvious ones, and there are the less obvious ones, and those are the ones that I really enjoyed, actually. But you can mix stuff up fairly well, and you have these dual attacks, like finisher attacks. They are really, really cool, and depending on which two party members that interact with another, you will get different arts, right? And honestly... Oh, let's go. We can show off Alphen's mystic art as well. Cool thing is, both of them, or all of the characters, have actually 2 mystic arts, which is very, very nice. But yeah, what you need to know about the battle system, it's quite easy to understand, but it can be difficult to master. There is more to it than just simple button presses. The way you set up your arts, it does matter. And you have a good amount of freedom here, right? Obviously, at first you only have 6 arts. While playing through the story, you will gain access to the second set here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, right? From there, you will start to go through, you will switch out characters, you will try which character you like the most, you will start crafting better equipment for them, and that is a very, very good thing. Like, this is one of the easiest to understand things in a Tales game is just you have armor, you have different weapons, they have stats, better weapons are found and crafted. And the equipment stuff is very nice and allows for quite a deep customization, which is very important. And that is also very, very good. You have your different costumes and stuff, and we can scroll through a couple of them. But yeah, what I really want to drive home with this point is the battle system is what you make out of it, right? You can play it fairly casually and do well. You can challenge yourself to get into a massive combo, for example, or how can I one combo a certain enemy or even a boss if you really want to test yourself. I don't think I've ever one comboed a boss. I have one comboed a certain enemy in the game, which is just like a little bit of a better unit, I guess. And that's where I got my 186 combo. That was a one combo finisher, just like all out. It was fun, it was very fast, very enjoyable, and pretty amazing. What I will say though, is that even though you have your freedom to a certain degree, right, you still have to make the best out of it. And honestly, it doesn't really matter which character you play, because you have, obviously you have a healer mage here, you have a mage here. Law is pretty much just the close quarters combat guy. We have a second healer that can also deal out or dish out massive damage. And Kisara, which is a very interesting character to play. And I have played with Alphen for the most part here, which is to be expected for me for the first playthrough. That's what I often do. I did dabble with the other characters though, and we will take a quick look at that. Because it's important for the battle system, right? Different characters, they actually do play differently, and throughout the story you have the option of the group battles, obviously, but also the solo battles, right? And Alphen is pretty much the only one where I did go for all the clear times, or like I just wanted to see if I understood how Alphen worked properly. Shion I did too, to test it out. Rinwell only one, Law only one, Kisara only one. Dohalim I did the ultimate but failed. The clear time, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. I don't really like to play as Dohalim. He is a very good second healer to have in your party though. So yeah. I enjoyed playing through the solo fights, but the battle system, wow, words, sorry, honestly shines for me when you're in a party and you're messing up enemies. That's like really where the fun lies, right? If you want to go, you can pump out the difficulty quite a bit, which is something I haven't done actually. I played on normal for the most part. I dabbled into hard a little bit just to see how hard it actually is, and now I unlocked chaos, and this is basically like the ultimate difficulty of a Tales game, right? You can also play on story. I did check the achievements that I got, and there is actually no achievement for beating the game on any certain difficulty, so yeah. For me it was normal, but you can actually beat it on... You can't be... That's the banter between the characters, which I absolutely love, as I said. But yeah, you can't just play on the... Hang on, how did I miss that? Story difficulty, there we go. The story difficulty is basically all you need to get every achievement. So, yeah. If you don't want to dabble into the harder game modes, you absolutely do not have to. And that brings me to a very important point. Ooh, hello frame drop. That brings me to a very important point. I feel like
We should be able to cook here.
for the price of the game, right? You get a ton of fun out of it. And that's very, very important, right? That's very important. At least I judge a lot of games in price versus value, right? Not only enjoyment, that's obviously a big part of it, but also like, do I want to invest more than just a story playthrough? Do I want to go out of my way to complete, let's say, the achievements, right? Or do I absolutely want to go and 100% the game? Sometimes achieving all achievements doesn't mean you have 100% the game, which is the case here. But honestly, I feel like the price versus the value you get out of the game is beyond a lot of what you see these days, and that makes me very glad. It goes with a little bit of a different thing against it, though. So, listen, I've talked a lot about the positives now. It's time we take a look at the shadows area, I guess. Things I didn't feel like or didn't enjoy as much, where I feel I need to address those. And one of which is sometimes in a town, let's see if we can trigger it in Vicent here. Sometimes in a town or on the field, you have graphics popping in. That is something that
was quite
listen,
the
it
adventure we went on.
for me, but you can see it loading in here, right? For me, that didn't take away the fun or anything, but I do know people who will say, that dude just materialized himself, right? I know a lot of people who will say that guy over there as well. They will say, dude, that's unacceptable for today's standards, right? And I do understand that, and I want to mention this. So be warned, that does happen. But as I said, for me, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. I enjoy the game as it is. I love the graphics, I love how it looks, I love how it feels, I love how it plays. And if I have some pop-up guards and stuff on the maps, I don't give a single shit about it. That's quite frank how I think. I know that a lot of people will say, but come on, man. Honestly, I can deal with that. I'm okay with that. That's just, I wanted to mention it, so now I've done that. Right. Another thing, this is not a negative per se. It can be good and bad in a way. In my eyes, this Tales is simpler than older ones, right? And we heard the term soft reboot of the Tales series, and it makes sense when you take a look at what you need to do to complete, like the game, how fast you can progress. Do I really need to craft as many weapons and stuff? You get into those rhythms as a player where you're like, maybe I skip an upgrade or two and see how it goes. Some games do not allow you that. Some older Tales just meant, okay, you just need to have more items, right? And that's basically how it still is. I felt not too much item pressure, but I still wanted to like grind for the upgrades a little bit. Like kill enough enemies for the crafting materials that I can craft the next upgrade, right? See the pop-ups? In this town, it's...
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you
In this
dummy.
town, it's really bad, so that's why I I was going into this town, because here it is very noticeable, and yeah. But as I said, hey, look at that. There's some beef. Yeah. So with the simplicity, that's also for the battle system, right? I see enough there that you can have fun with it, and you can go deeper and like go really into how do I really get a nice combo going and stuff. And I think for the battle systems, it is very nice how it is. But with the, like, I don't know, the equipment, you have depth in here with crafting up your accessories and like transfer certain skills that you want, right? So I had to, or I wanted to have max HP plus 400 on here. I wanted gluten for battle. I wanted like penetration plus 120. Stuff like that is very enjoyable throughout the process. But once you have the accessories that you want, there's not much use to actually go back to that system, right? The outfit stuff I really enjoy, that you are able to just get the sword skin that you like the most and say, yep, I want to equip that, and from now on your character will have that one here. We can also run around with Shion. Yay! Or Rinwell, for that matter. And those are things... If it's too simplistic, I feel like a lot of older Tales fans can be a bit discouraged to play longer, or play as long as they might want it to in the beginning. I do understand that. I heard that complaint from two guys, and I have to say, I feel you a little bit, especially with the New Game Plus, right? So I am on max level. 100 is the end of the road. You have skill points that you can invest still, so at least you are gaining those. Let's actually just complete this title here. There we go. So sure, you can grind more, and that's fine, right? You have like all these modifiers. You can carry over everything, or almost everything, into New Game Plus. But why would I play New Game Plus? I, for myself, see no reason, absolutely no reason, to play through New Game Plus. I got every trophy so far in New Game, and I will be able to finish up my trophies in New Game. I have double experience, double SP, everything. And sure, I could get those things carried over into New Game Plus, but for what, right? I am max level. I don't need to go for New Game Plus. I can finish everything up. And that's where I feel like it's too simplistic in that sense, right? I don't have an incentive to go through New Game Plus other than for a challenge. To say, right, I give myself double XP, but I will play on Chaos Mode only. Do I want to do that right now? Not right now. There might be a day where I say, okay, let's do this, let's try this out, let's see how this goes. But that's more of like a self-driven challenge that you want to take on, right? The game itself doesn't... I just don't see the reason for New Game Plus, and that's very, very sad. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. That could very well be, but honestly, that's one point that stands out to me, that hurts me a little bit, where I feel like, oh, really? That should have been differently done, or I don't know. Maybe it's really just me, but I just feel like that there's something lacking there. But as I said, I'm very biased. Don't get me wrong. This is not an objective review. This is very subjective, and everything I say is my opinion and nothing else. Not more, not less, right? But yeah, that is like the one gripe I have with this game at the moment. We can take a quick look if you just make a manual save here. There we go. Just so you guys know what happens when you actually go into New Game Plus. I have tested this once. Something I don't like is that as long as you don't load your data, your sound settings are actually just to the max. And that is something that drives me insane and has driven me insane for years with games from Valve. But yeah. So you load the data, and now you can choose what you want, right? So you can carry over the records and stuff, which is good. You get the boosts from the artifacts that you found, which is nice. You just carry over everything, right? If you really want to go for it. And sure, you will level up faster, you will get your SP stuff faster. The thing is, there was carryover levels right here. So I can start New Game Plus on level 100 with all my skills, all my art proficiencies, double XP, double SP, more ore, better cooking effect, super combat point boost, which equals in even more XP and stuff, right? I can carry over my whole equipment. I just really do not see the point. That's just... I don't. Right? I really cannot see why I should do this. And that's like... It's a bit sad. And the last thing I would like to talk about... I think we have to go through... Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Alvin with the mask and this costume. Right. It's gone now. That's good. Yeah. We actually, yeah, it's right here. The DLC. Listen. I got the Dual Wings pack for free, right? I just pre-ordered the game. That's all I've done. Let's take a look here. We have some cosmetics. Okay. We have a recipe and 2 of them actually. 3 of... Ooh, 4. What? Okay. And a couple of ingredients and stuff, right? That's not too bad. That is actually not too bad. That is a fair bonus for someone who pre-ordered the game. Nothing will break your game. Nothing will happen. It's all good. The other DLCs though, and don't get me wrong, if you want to buy them, feel free. It's all good, in all fairness. No harsh feelings to anybody who has the DLCs or had the the Ultimate Edition or things like that. No worries, you are completely fine. I don't blame anyone who invested more money into the game. Absolutely not. Listen, I have loved Tales of games for way too long to complain about that, right? All I say is maybe some of the DLCs are a little bit too game-breaking for my liking, right? That's all I'm saying. But that's honestly, that's the last nitpick I have with this game. I mean, look at it. It looks gorgeous. It sounds gorgeous. It's a ton of fun to play through. And even though I feel like I can get the other 2 achievements that I'm missing in under 2 hours. Yeah, that should be possible. So we will be under 60 hours of getting all achievements in the Tales of game. That, for me, feels short. It really does. It really, really does feel short. Reaching level 100 after, I don't know, 55 hours or something? With watching all the cutscenes and stuff, doing all the side quests, it feels short to me personally. For a more casual player, this is absolutely amazing, right? Finally, you do not have to worry if you recommend somebody a Tales game and they will come back at you and say, dude, I don't have 300 hours to invest into this game. Are you actually mad? Are you insane? And you're like, oh, right. Yeah, okay, I get that. It's just... I feel it's a very good starting point or restarting point for the Tales of franchise. And I can say I do recommend this game wholeheartedly. I stand behind that I love it. I have loved every minute so far, and I will enjoy a couple more hours into it. If we will go for a New Game Plus Chaos Mode challenge run without carrying over all the stuff, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day. I'm not too sure, honestly. But that's fine. That's fine. The value I got out of the game for what it cost me is just beautiful. It's perfect. It's all I wanted. It really is all I wanted and more. And I will say, if you've never played the Tales game, buy this one. This will last you a good amount of time, and you will have a very, very good time playing through this. With that, we finish this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care. Bye.